And guys, Richard at Ryden's room here. Like I've said in my previous vids, I'm not in my room. I'm in my bedroom with everything else, like my Star Wars book sets on me downstairs. I'm just in my room using the clothes basket to hold my phone up. So I'm on my knees, so it looks quite painful. Be like if I was sitting down, but like hassle to get the chair. So anyway, let's get to it. So, Fate of the Jedi 3 Abyss. Been reading these every now and then, normally between other ones. I've had a bit of a breather because in another vid I've actually just gone to this being a library book. But at the minute I'm reading a Lord of the Rings book, Fall of Numenor, which is awesome from what I've seen of the Amazon show, which sucked. Although it's maybe one episode, I just watched reviews for the rest. It's telling the far better story. The real story is that book. And yeah, once that one is done, it's back to the Star Wars Fate of the Jedi series. I've also recently bought a bunch of other Star Wars books to go back to the good and the bad. So in place you can see a bit longer, the Crystal Star, all the Bantamira ones, because once this series is done, that's it. It ended with Crucible, but I'm not bothered about reading that one. So yeah, let's get on to Abyss. Leia's on the cover, so let's start with Leia. So Leia, in fact, he had two fairly pointless side quests. One was helping Lando in book 1, and the other was basically getting a pet for Alana in book 2. So same sort of thing here. Leia gets the side story, and I really should have done this video sooner. I'm trying to remember what exactly it was that Han and Leia did. In this one, it's more spending time with Alana, etc. And what was it that they got up to? Yes, they've had their time with Tenel Carr, letting them keep an update on Alana. And oh, that's it. Yes, I remember now. It's all come back to me. I read this like a month ago, and I've got no memory. So basically, we've got pulling off diversions, helping with what's going on with the Jedi. So this is continuing the story before. The Jedi illness is continuing, and it's getting no better. Luke and Ben are learning more about what led to what Jason did, and they're seeing a new group where they've moved from flow walking to something completely different. And it's a good book. It's definitely felt a bit weaker than the other ones, even though it's good seeing everything that Luke gets up to. It's just overall nothing's really changing all that much. Not a huge amount to say to this book, to be honest. It's just kind of continuing what happened in the previous one, and Luke and Ben becoming more powerful. Oh yes, of course. The main part is the Sith are back. So again, I was just at the beginning, but it's quite obvious spoilers for this era and the Legends/expanded universe era of Star Wars. So yeah, the Sith have basically tracked Luke down, the Lost Tribe of the Sith. Again, read the book Lost Tribe of the Sith, well worth it. And it just effectively ends with Luke taking out the Vestara's mentor, but Vestara escapes. And of course, as we know, they're teasing Vestara to have a bigger role. She's been on the cover in book 2. And that's kind of where it ends, them going after, I think Luke put a tracker on or something on their ship. I think Obi-Wan in episode 2 with Jango Fett. And yeah, that's kind of it. Jaina and Jag are engaged. That was in the end of book 2, but their parents don't trust him because he's following all the rules. But I'm sure that'll change by the end. So yeah, there's just really not a huge amount of book out to say to this one. Not just that I read it a month ago. Well, less than that, 2-3 weeks. It's just not a huge amount goes on. It's just kind of the same as before. Not a bad book or anything, but it's just kind of continuous where you'd think being Troy Denning would, the showrunner of the Denning-verse, as they call it, be a lot more happening. But you write the action scenes well, because that's one of the things I dislike about book 2. It's short, and you felt like where all the battle sequences, like the Star and the Sith, just take out ships. But we don't see any of that. So we do get that. Battle sequences are good. Luke's still amazing, lightsaber fight, even when it's extremely injured or weakened. That is kind of it. Not a great review, but there's not a huge amount to say to this one, really. It's just continuing the work of 1 and 2, but with the exception of Luke seems to be aware that Sith are back now, and this is nothing to do with Palpatine's line. So I look forward to book 4. Although I've heard people say that book 4 looks like going downhill. Well, to me, Legacy of the Force started going downhill probably book 2. Even though it's obsessed with Boba Fett and the Mandalorians because it's Karen Travis. It was worth barring what Jason did at the end of Betrayal. It's more just pushing him in that dark direction, and someone who hated that Jason do those things. Yeah, it really began going downhill I wouldn't say book 1 because I loved Aaron Aston's writing. He did the best he could with a terrible direction. But yeah, the problem's really book 2, book 3. Hasn't happened yet in this, even though this review makes it sound so poor. But yeah, a lot of people say book 4 is the point it really starts falling apart. We'll see because it's Alan Aston, but it can't be worse than how Sacrifice ruined Star Wars, like the EU completely. So we will see. But yeah, that is it. Oh, so there's another book I didn't put in my previous collection bit. Oh well, let's just throw it in here. I've got another one of the Young Jedi Knights books. I'll soon have all of them, and I'll do a big like bulk, not review of them, but preview, let's say. But yeah, hope you enjoyed that non-review, and I'll see you next time.